Keep me better. Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. Ooh. Good morning, friends. Good morning, people. Good morning. Simone, I see you the first one here. Good morning, everybody. How is everybody doing this morning? It's Monday morning. You think me sound look better than yesterday? Uh, I don't know. Um, I'm not sneezing as much. As I'm not coughing as much, but oh well, it's another day. We all go one day at a time until we go no more. So we're moving right along. Morning, everybody. How is everybody doing? I hope your week is off to a great start. Now, for those of you who are just coming here, if you are new here, you're just coming, you're wondering where in the hell am I? Well, you have landed on my page. You have landed on the page of Trev from Trevessence. And um this morning here, we are going to continue to do what we do in the mornings. Yes, yes, guys. This morning, we are going to continue with the Bible reading. The very interesting Bible. Yes. Yesterday, for those of you who were here yesterday, you would have seen that we completed the reading. Who calling me so early in the morning? Why they choose to call me this time of the morning? I don't know. All right, we can't answer this time of the morning. Yeah. So let us continue. So if you are wondering when you come over and you see me reading the Bible and you are wondering like what in the world's Trev doing now with the reading of the Bible, please note I do not endorse religion, I do not endorse denomination. Okay? I find them to be quite divisive. I find religion to be quite divisive. I find it to be quite inconsistent. And anything that cause fuss, me not in it. And I may say that, but people may say, when you talk about religion, it's something that really irks people and it causes people, it gets people angry. That's right, there is the problem. That right there is a problem. Because you shouldn't be angry that somebody is not going with the charade that you are going with, because it's just a belief. What you have accepted as facts, you can't prove them. You can't irrefutably prove to me, yourself, or to anybody else that what you have accepted as fact is true. Whenever any of you all can prove me wrong, just like Job says, well, I believe it, but hey, there is no way to prove it. But I still believe it. And at the end of the day, there will be nobody to stand before me and tell me I am wrong. Because at the end of the day, there will be none of us. None of us will be able to tell each other, oh, yeah, I was right or you were wrong. So Job said, well, you know what? At this point, me just go on with it, yeah, man, because my conviction is so strong. My conviction is so strong that I'm just going to go on with it. He says, his friend says, boy, Job, she say, where I do not sound right. Tara, good morning, my love. How are you? Good morning. Happy Monday. For those of you who have been with us as we have read the book of Job, Job said, his friend said to him, what you are doing really makes no sense, because here you are so loyal. You are so loyal to this energy. But whenever you call on this energy, that it isn't always there. Even though you are told to pray and call to this energy and be good, do all these things, and this energy is always going to be there for you whenever you need it, whenever you need him, her, whatever it is, whenever you are in need. This energy is going to be there all the time. And his friends are just saying to him, but the energy ain't there, Job. The energy ain't there. You are there for the energy, but the energy isn't there for you. And Job said, you know something? Me no business one want to say. Me still a go do what me a do. Me no business. And they pointed out to him, listen, we have always been taught that if you are a good person, if you are a kind person, then bad things don't befall you. Miss Kits, good morning, lovely. And here you are, considered to be the richest, the kindest, the greatest, and yet look what has befallen you. Don't you see your deity is letting you down? And Job said, well, me no business. Wanna talk like foolish men. Wanna talk like wanna full of misery. Miss Kits, oh, you doing, my love? Girl, I'm still here. I'm still trying to get over this bug, whatever it is. I'm still trying to get over it. But it's here lingering for a while. When I'm done with the live today, I'll go work on it some more because I gotta get rid of it. It cannot linger. It's been today makes 3 days since I've been feeling this lousy. But anyway, so yeah. And as I told you all yesterday, with the book of Job, the story is not complete. Yesterday, what me I take, say me since yesterday, to be honest with you, I don't take nothing since yesterday. Because yesterday I came home, I took some stuff and I went to sleep. And then when I woke up, I was still feeling, wait, Mrs. Somebody now want red hat. Mrs. Somebody now want red hat. And I know you. Good morning, my love. Good morning. How are where have been? Lord have mercy, my child. I've been here. I have been here. How are you doing? How are you doing, my friend? Yeah, I'm here. I've been chipping in and out. We haven't run into each other in a minute. Yeah, because the internet, I'm mostly on the talk here, you know, the scale back. Yeah, see me on Facebook. Like, Facebook is just like, yeah. Mr. Westmoreland, good morning to you, my love. Wonderful, wonderful, Lennox, wonderful. Island sisters, how are you doing? What's going on over there in London this morning? Probably afternoon, no, still morning for you. How are you doing, my love? Good to see you. Happy Monday morning to you. Mr. West, how are you doing? So this morning here, beautiful people, we were sort of recapping what we had read in Job yesterday. We finished reading the book of Job yesterday. So I was saying that I don't think the story is complete. A lot is missing from the story. Don't y'all think? Yeah, it's been a while. I haven't seen you, my love. But here we are. We're seeing each other today. And it's a good day. It's a good day. Guys, I didn't get you all to see the sunrise this morning. Yeah. It's kind of cloudy, so there wasn't too much to see. It was kind of cloudy. But anyway, yeah. Um, Mr. West, I'm here, my love, not doing too badly. I shouldn't complain. I shouldn't complain. I'm still vertical. So I'm still vertical, so I'm not complaining. Yeah, but I'm here. Yeah. This morning, I want to see if the people who were here yesterday are still here because yesterday they all suggested that this morning we read the book of Solomon. For those of you who have been with me for a while, you know we have gone through the Bible from the beginning to the end. Um, yeah, we finished reading it some months ago, and now we can sort of hop over some of the books in the Bible because we already have knowledge of what's in the other books, if you know what I mean. Certainly we don't remember every single word, but the whole concept of the writings, I'm sure we still have knowledge of. Okay? So yesterday when we finished reading the book of Job, somebody suggested that we now read the book of Songs of Solomon. The book of Songs of Solomon is not too is not too long. It's all kinds of lovey-dovey stuff. Right, Swift One? You come in just in time for all of this lovey-lovey stuff in the book of Songs of Solomon. But before we hop over to Songs of Solomon, I wanted to talk a little bit about the book of Job that we read yesterday, that we finished reading yesterday. And I was saying earlier that I believe there's a lot that's missing from it. We don't know what is, but to complete the story, I would have liked to have seen um God have some more communication with this devil in this story. Because if you notice, the majority of the story, there wasn't any God speaking. Okay? There was there was Job speaking. There was Job speaking a lot in the story. There was his friend Eliphaz, his friend Bildad, his friend Zophar, and then Elihu speaking before the story switched back to say God is speaking to Job out of a whirlwind. And then, boom, Job is restored. I hear no conversation between God and Satan, like, okay, so Satan has done all that he has done to Job. I don't hear God chastising him. Donald, what's up? I don't hear. The story just finished for me too dry. Too dry. But it is what it is. And then God asked for Job's friends. He chastises them and asks them to go get animals, 7 bulls, 7 something else, to come to sacrifice in front of Job. Until now, I don't get except for people say, oh, he was resilient and he believed. I guess that was the whole idea. That's what they wanted the reader to come away with. To say, oh, he was resilient. So if you believe in this God, you need to be as resilient as Job, no matter what happened to you, no matter what. Never lose faith, never give up. I think that was that Nixland, what's up? I guess that was the whole lesson. And then to say, if you are one of those people who don't believe, then this is how you're going to be cursed. I don't know. I don't know. Because I don't know why non-believers, why the punishment for non-believers, why you have to be punished for not believing. Because I did not see any reason for them 4 guys to have been punished. They were asking relevant questions. I don't think them asking Job, where is God when he needs him, when Job is always there for God, if you will. I don't think that was a bad question for them to ask. Do you think so? I think they were being reasonable based on what they were taught, what they knew, what they believed to have been true, because they believed that if you are a good person, if you feed the hungry, if you take care of the widow, if you do all these good things, if you don't beat your servant to death, all these things, you are going to gain favor from this God. Nothing bad is going to happen to you. People are going to bow down to you. People are going to be good to you. And the universe in general is going to be good to you. That's what their belief was. But then here is Job, this ultra orthodox person who seemed to do everything by the books. He never wanted to go off script, not for a second, not for a minute. And he was reaping the blessings of that faithfulness. And then, boof, here he is, stricken with sores, having lost everything, but still holding on to his faith. Mr. West says, I think the Bible shows more support to the Hindu religion than anything else. You have a point. But to me, the Bible is a whole block of confusion. It is not consistent in its writings, and that is understandable because these individuals who are documenting these actual events or perceived events, they lived thousands of years apart. So I understand that their stories could not be cohesive. Their stories are not the same because a lot of them are writing stories from what they were taught, what they were told, coming down from generation to generation to generation. And you see, that is why I tell you all that you cannot read the Bible. You cannot be a one-verse bandit. You cannot just read the Bible, grab a verse here and grab a verse there. Because if somebody is now trying to quote you some words, notice when we read Job, Job's friends had some philosophical talks in there. Now imagine somebody coming to use them philosophical talks on you, and they say it's in the Bible and God say it. And poor you have no clue. You don't know because you ain't read it for yourself. That is why I always say context for me is very important when it comes on to the Bible. Excuse me. I tell you what, I want to know when you throw a verse at me, I'm not grabbing it. I'm not catching it. I want to go back and see where this verse comes from. Who is speaking? To whom are they speaking? What are the circumstances surrounding the utterance that was made? What were they talking about? I need some context. And from that context, it will tell me, from getting that context, it will tell me whether or not this is something that can hold water or something that can throw in a basket. That is me. And I also realize that in reading the Bible too, and identifying the inconsistencies in the Bible, it throws all kinds of doubts in your mind as to whether or not the veracity of the contents of the Bible is questionable. And some people say, oh no, it's the word of God, so it's got to be true. But in the same breath, they also say the word of God never changes, and what he says today, he means tomorrow. And I've been asking the question forever. And my question is, if the word of God stands forever and it never changes, why in the world did the doctrine change in the New Testament? Until now, nobody can answer me. People call them pastor for come answer me. Pastor go round the word, go round so, come round so. Can't answer. Cannot answer to me as to why what Moses claimed to have been taught, claimed to have been told by this God. God, he said, told him all these things to tell to the children of Israel that this is how he wanted them to live. These are the things he wanted them to do in order to gain favor from him. Why did these things change over time? Because if it came from God and it was the truth and he knows today, tomorrow, and forever, then it shouldn't change, right? It shouldn't change. It should have been the right thing, the true thing from the beginning, forever and ever. Fair enough? Fair enough in my view. Hold on there. I got a snotty nose today. A little bit. Yeah. So that makes me question the stuff in the Bible. And you got to read it for yourself, guys, because the people who are out here shouting and saying, oh, if you don't believe, you are heathen. Bad things go happen to you and all of this. And I say to them, you all always act like you got to cast a curse on people for not believing what you believe. And that even make people like me move further away from y'all. Because why it's gotta be a curse? Why you gotta, oh, people gotta die if they don't believe? But the thing is, you believe, but you die too. You get sick too. It's not as though, no, you all are acting, it's the same thing like with Job, right, Mr. West? Izzy, what's up? Good morning. Thank you so much, my love. Thank you so much. How are you doing? The thing I'm saying is, just like Job was of the belief that if he worshiped the way he was taught to worship, if he did all these good things, he was going to be these bad things would never happen to him. Remember, his friend Eliphaz said to him, there's got to be something you have done and you are not fessing up to it. You are not tell us. Just admit it that there must have been some widow that you didn't take care of, that there must have been some hungry children that you didn't feed. Just admit it, because I guess that's what your God is waiting for you to admit. Just admit it. And Job insisted he's not admitting to that. He's not admitting to any of that because he was dead sure that he had done nothing wrong that would warrant him facing the curse of non-believers. Because, they figured it was a curse if you didn't believe, and if you didn't believe and you didn't do good, then all these bad things would happen to you. And isn't it the same thing we hear Christians say nowadays when you don't believe? Oh, God, I go show you a lesson. God, I go show you a lesson. God, I go do this to you. God, I go do that to you. Why your God so vengeful? Why would it be that your God is so hateful and so cruel? That's my question. And it's like the same question like Job's friends were asking him. Like, what in the world? Why wouldn't it be that your God's response would be with love? Why you all think it's got to be with a strong arm and hatred and cruelty? And like Job's friend said to him, there is absolutely nothing that will befall an unbeliever that will not befall a believer. So tell me where the line is drawn. Where is the line drawn? And I think that was a relevant question. Don't you think, Andrea? Good morning, Andrea. How are you doing? So I wake up this morning and I feel a little bit better. I don't know if I better I feel or I don't know. But last night I felt terrible. Yeah, last night I didn't feel good at all. Yeah, last night I didn't feel good, so. But now I feel better. A little bit. Yeah. I think my body needed some rest because I slept and slept and slept and slept and slept. And then I woke up at like 10 o'clock last night and I couldn't go back to sleep. And I went over TikTok and guess who was on live? Kim. Kim Screechy was on live. Can you believe it? So I was over there till Kim shut off the live. Then I went back to sleep. So here I am. Yes, lovely people. So with that part of the story, I'm going to move right on. I see Cad is forward up in another place. So once Cad come in at the place, we're gonna move on. Um, we're going to go read the book of Songs of Solomon. That's what they recommended yesterday. Somebody recommended exactly, Mr. I like that. Mr. Wester, your God has brought you to your senses. Exactly. Exactly. That's what I say too. That's what I say too. But we're gonna read the book of Songs of Solomon this morning because somebody recommended it yesterday with Job, Psalms, and Proverbs, Ecclesiastic, Songs of Solomon. And then somebody said Jeremiah. Jeremiah is a long one. I love the book of Jeremiah. When we start reading the book of Jeremiah, when we read the book of Jeremiah, it's gonna be fun. I promise y'all. I promise you all. If you all remember when we read it, when we read it the first time, all the fun we had, we're gonna read it again. But this morning we're gonna do the Song of Solomon. The Song of Solomon is very short. It's got just like 8. The people and some people, I bet you they're not here today who recommended it. I believe you. I believe you. They're probably not here today. And where the woman there was said she'd have come up here today. She said she'd have um come set me straight in terms of the belief in God. After me tell her yesterday, say, we deal with reality. Me not deal with fantasy. Don't know what's up. Me deal with reality. There are some things that we don't understand, and I agree there are some things that we never will. But if I, as a human being, Ay, oh Lord, if I, as a human being, can't understand it, then you can't either. I don't think so. Them hard and then they gone away. They left it in their card. They left it in their card. Watch out, Andrea, they race me up. Andrea said the reading she come from if you stop the bag of long talking. Okay, ma'am. All right. Lord, you can't straighten me out, sir. Oh Lord. All right, Andrea. We are on to the book of who this a call me? We are on to the book of Songs of Solomon. So we are going to be reading the Song of Solomon. God if you tell them we don't have layaway plans here. Well, when they come, it will be all gone. Too bad for them. The Songs of Solomon, which is Solomon's. All right. So it is Solomon. Solomon write this. The Songs of Solomon. Let him kiss me with kisses of his mouth. For thy love is better than wine. I have to clear my throat for that. All right. Uno roll on up. When the people them they were in love, uno roll on up. Let him kiss me with the kisses of his mouth. For thy love is better than wine. Because of the savor of thy good ointments, thy name is as ointment poured forth. Therefore, do the virgins love thee. Draw me, we will run after thee. The king hath brought me into his chambers. We will be glad and rejoice in thee. We will remember thy love more than wine. The upright have loved thee. I am black, but comely. O ye daughters of Jerusalem, as the tents of Kedar, as the curtains of Solomon. Look not upon me, because I am black, because the sun hath looked upon me. My mother's children were angry with me. They made me the keeper of the vineyards, but mine own vineyard have I not kept. Tell me, O thou whom my soul loveth, where thou feedest, where thou makest thy flock to rest at noon. For why should I be as one that turns aside by the flocks of thy companions? If thou know not, O thou fairest among women, go thy way forth by the footsteps of the flock, and feed thy kids beside the shepherd's tents. I have compared thee, O my love, to a companion of horses in Pharaoh's chariots. Thy cheeks are comely with rows of jewels, thy neck with chains of gold. We will make thee borders of gold with studs of silver. While the king sits at his table, my spikenard sendeth forth the smell thereof. A bundle of myrrh. A bundle of myrrh is my well-beloved unto me. He shall lie at night betwixt my breasts. My beloved is unto me as a cluster of camphor in the vineyards of Engedi. Behold, thou art fair, my love. Behold, thou art fair. Thou hast dove's eyes. I love words them here. Solomon I say. Make we continue. Behold, thou art fair, my beloved, yea, pleasant. Also, our bed is green. Metaphorically speaking, when him say our bed is green, does that mean that they have not yet jumped in the sack? Yeah, is that what that is? Maybe. Me don't know. He says their bed is green. You know, hold on there. Okay. But he says our bed is green. The beams of our house are cedar and our rafters of fir. You hear something really just right there, just now? Anybody who is listening, have you all, did it? Me not hear nothing really just yet. Like, have you? I don't know. But we're going to continue. That's the end of chapter 1. Let's move on to chapter 2. I am the rose of Sharon and the lily of the valley. Now this is Solomon speaking. Okay? Okay? Solomon says, I am the rose of Sharon, the lily of the valley. This is how he's comparing himself in his whole idea of grandeur, as being the love master. This is what he says of himself. All right. So no tell me say, in the Bible, God say I'm the rose of Sharon. Okay. Solomon says, I am the rose of Sharon and the lily of the valley. As the lily among thorns, so is my love among the daughters. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Here Solomon is expressing his love for the women. And we know that he had many of them. So he's a charmer. He's a charmer. You ever see some pimp daddy? Them dress up in them suit and them have their little hat and their little cane and stuff. They have all these sweet words. That is Solomon with all these sweet words. Solomon says, I am the rose of Sharon and the lily of the valleys. As the lily among thorns, so is my love among the daughters. As the apple tree among the trees of the wood, so is my beloved among the sons. You see, he says he stands out among the men. Amongst the women, he's like a thorn in a lily field. But amongst the men, the men a problem with him because he might get all of the women. He says, as the apple tree among the trees of the wood, so is my beloved among the sons. I sat down under his shadow with great delight, and his fruit was sweet to my taste. He brought me to the banqueting house, and his banner over me was love. His who? His who Solomon attack people. Don't talk to me. Don't hold on there. I got a snotty nose today. Oh my. But anyway, let us continue. He says, he brought me to the banqueting house, and his banner over me was love. Stay me with flagons, comfort me with apples, for I am sick of love. His left hand is under my head, and his right hand embraces me. I charge you, O ye daughters of Jerusalem, by the roes and by the hinds of the field, that ye stir not up, nor awake my love till he please. The voice of my beloved, behold, he comes leaping upon the mountains, skipping upon the hills. My beloved is like a roe or a young hart. Behold, he stands behind our wall. He looks forth at the windows, showing himself through the lattice. My beloved spake and said unto me, rise up, my love, my fair one, and come away. For lo, the winter is past, the rain is over and gone, the flowers appear on the earth, the time of the singing of birds is come, and the voice of the turtle is heard in our land. The fig tree puts forth her green figs, and the vines with the tender grape give a good smell. Arise, my love, my fair one, and come away. O my dove, that art in the clefts of the rock, in the secret places of the stairs, let me see thy countenance, let me hear thy voice, for sweet is thy voice, and thy countenance is comely. Take us, the foxes, the little foxes, that spoil the vines, for our vines have tender grapes. My beloved is mine, and I am his. He feeds among the lilies. Excuse me. My beloved is mine, and I am his. He feeds among the lilies until the day break, and the shadows flee away. Turn, my beloved, and be thou like a roe or a young hart upon the mountains of Bether. Awe kade? Kadoy? God, where Solomon just still look a while? You hear something religious and inspiring by what I'm just saying? Because I think right here he's stroking his ego. Is that what's happening? Where's the Andrea? I've been doing all night marathon. No, man, me sleep last night. Me did call out. Yeah, me did call out last night because I was feeling so sick. Yeah. And I don't think it would have been. It's not okay for me to go to work sick because my coworkers and the patients, it's not okay. So I wasn't gonna go last night. So I have today, tomorrow, and Wednesday to recover. Yeah, I'll use these 3 days to recover. So I go drink up all kind of drink up. Yeah. Let's see. What God say? All metaphorical. That's what I'm thinking. That is all metaphorically speaking. But who is it supposed to appeal to? What he's saying? Who do you think it's supposed to appeal to? Because to me, it just seems like somebody writing down their thoughts, how he feels about himself. You know, he's saying the women love him. He loved the women. It's like the men don't like him around because he thinks men think he's having too many of the women because he's the sweet rose of Sharon and he's the lily of the valley, stroking himself, stroking his ego. That's what I see here. You see something else? We're going to continue reading it, people. We'll continue reading it. We are on to chapter 3, Andrea. And if you are just coming and you don't know what we're reading the book of Songs of Solomon. By night on my bed, I sought him whom my soul loveth. So this now Solomon talk about the God, right? He says, I sought him whom my soul loveth. I sought him, but I found him not. Let me read all of it before me say anything. By night on my bed I sought him whom my soul loveth. I sought him, but I found him not. I will rise now and go about the city in the streets, and in the broad ways I will seek him whom my soul loveth. I sought him, but I found him not. The watchmen that go about the city found me, to whom I said, Saw he him whom my soul loveth? Okay, so he's saying these watchmen going about the city and he's asking them, "You see the man whom I love?" Well, he is said to be the wisest man that ever lived. Well, let's see. Him said to be the wisest man we ever live. Hold up there. Solomon is thought to be the wisest man we ever live. And Solomon could only write one page in the Bible. Solomon could only write eight short chapters as the wisest man. So where was that wisdom to be shared with the rest of the world? Why didn't he want to share that wisdom? Am I gatekeep the wisdom? What did they use to analyze him to claim that he was the wisest man? Anyway, I'm an agnostic and a skeptic. Something is missing. Something has got to be missing. Something has got to be missing. Okay. So these were just his songs. So the proverb was the ones he wrote to his sons. Oh, okay. Hold on. The book of Proverbs is supposed to tell us who wrote it, right? You said that was Solomon who wrote it to his sons? Okay. We're going to read the book of Proverbs again. Maybe after we have read the book of Jeremiah. Jeremiah is long. Jeremiah is going to take us a few days. But let us continue with the book of Solomon. We are on to chapter 3, lovely people. Chapter 3 of Solomon. We're continuing. He says, by night on my bed I sought him whom my soul loves. I sought him, but I found him not. I will rise now and go about the city in the streets and in the broad ways. I will seek him whom my soul loves. I sought him, but I found him not. The watchmen that go about the city found me, to whom I asked, have you seen this? Have you seen him whom my soul loveth? It was but a little that I passed from them, but I found him whom my soul loveth. I held him, and would not let him go until I had brought him into my mother's house, and into the chamber of her that conceived me. I charge you, O ye daughters of Jerusalem, by the roes and by the hinds of the field, that ye stir not up, nor awake my love, till he please. Who is this that comes out of the wilderness like pillars of smoke, perfumed with myrrh and frankincense, with all powers of the merchant? Behold his bed, which is Solomon's. 80 valiant men are about it, of the valiants of Israel. 60 men round about Solomon's bed. What for? They all hold swords, being experts in war. Every man hath his sword upon his thigh, because of fear in the night. King Solomon made himself a chariot of the wood of Lebanon. Hold on there now. Hold on, let me read this again. King Solomon made himself a chariot of the wood of Lebanon. Now, why am I talk about himself in the third person? You see them code switching here? Why would he now be talking to himself? I'm talking of himself in the third person. Just suddenly, just so. Let me read it. King Solomon made himself a chariot of the wood of Lebanon. He made the pillars thereof of silver, the bottom thereof of gold, the covering of it of purple, the midst thereof being paved with love for the daughters of Jerusalem. Is he talking of himself in the third person? How him a fix up him bed and a make him place look nice? Cause him a go breed everybody. Excuse me. He's preparing to have relations with all the daughters of Jerusalem. I mean, you know what is so godly about that? I'm just asking. So I'm preparing himself, preparing this place so that he can sleep with all the daughters of Jerusalem. Something sound godly about that, Joe. Let's see. Go forth, O ye daughters of Zion, and behold King of Solomon with the crown, wherewith his mother crowned him in the day of his espousals, and in the day of the gladness of his heart. So who is that talking? Who is that telling the children, telling the daughters of Jerusalem to go to Solomon, to be his concubines? Him again. Yes. He's making himself physically fit and aesthetically pleasing, because all these women, he's expecting all the daughters of Jerusalem to come to him. He must fix up the bed and everything to fix their business. Like, what's so godly about that? But we're going to continue. We're going to continue, Andrea. Chapter 4. We are on to chapter 4. Behold, thou art fair, my love. Behold, thou art fair. Thou hast dove's eyes within my locks. Thy hair is as a flock of goats that appear from Mount Gilead. Thy teeth are like a flock of sheep that are even shorn, which came up from the washing, whereof every one bear twins, and none is barren among them. Metaphorically speaking. Yeah. All of the, I mean, Let us continue. That was metaphorically speaking. He says, thy lips are like a thread of scarlet, and thy speech is comely. Thy tempers are like a piece of pomegranate within thy locks. Thy neck is like the tower of David, built for an armory, whereon there hang 1,000 bucklers, all shields of mighty men. Thy two breasts are like two young roes that are twins, which feed among the lilies. Until the day break and the shadows flee away, I will get me to the mountain of myrrh and to the hill of frankincense. Thou art all fair, my love. There is no spot in thee. Come with me from Lebanon, my spouse, with me from Lebanon. Look from the top of Amana, from the top of Shinir and Hermon, from the lions' dens, from the mountains of the leopards. Thou hast ravaged my heart, my sister, my spouse. Thou hast ravished my heart with one of thine eyes, with one chain of thy neck. How fair is thy love, my sister, my spouse! How much better is thy love than wine, and the smell of thine ointments than all spices. Thy lips, O my spouse, drop as the honeycomb. Honey and milk are under thy tongue, and the smell of thy garments is like the smell of Lebanon. A garden enclosed is my sister, my spouse, a spring shut up, a fountain sealed. Thy plants are an orchard of pomegranates, with pleasant fruits, camphor, with spikenard and saffron, calamus and cinnamon, with all trees of frankincense, myrrh and aloes, with all the chief spices, a fountain of gardens, a well of living waters, and streams from Lebanon. Awake, O north wind, and come, thou south, blow upon my garden, that the spices thereof may flow out. Let my beloved come into his garden and eat his pleasant fruits. Legend, good morning, my love. How are you doing? Somebody says here, it is like someone telling the story of Salah, maybe one of his lovers. You are right. It's as though is it that he is talking? Then well, why the confusion? Why would he be talking of himself in the first and the third person at the same time? Do you understand why the reader would be confused as to when he is speaking as opposed to when somebody else is speaking about him? Joe, good morning. How you doing? How you doing, Joseph? Good morning, my love. Or an admirer, maybe. But he says that these are the things that are in his garden. I mean, I don't think it's a literal garden. I just think that these are the smells that he likes. He likes when women adorn themselves. Remember, he talks about how their jewelry shine and make him. He loves their jewelry. It sort of is enticing for him. Their smell, O daughters of Jerusalem. He likes their smell. Yeah, whether you're smelling of frankincense or myrrh or saffron and pomegranates and cinnamon and all of this. He loves the smell, and that's what he's talking about. He can't get over them women. Legend, you know say, me shouldn't have to tell you where me I read from. Yeah. One verse. You should have hear me read one verse and you should have know exactly what me reading. And from where. But me I go forgive you this morning. Me I read Songs of Solomon. Songs of Solomon me reading, my love. Me just finished reading chapter 4. So we're gonna read chapter 5. Yeah, we just finished reading chapter 4. We're gonna read chapter 5, you know. You know, so Solomon no long. Yeah, the book of Solomon is not long, so we have 3 more chapters to read. 4 more, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Yeah. So let us continue, lovely people. I am come in my garden, my sister, my spouse. I have gathered my myrrh with my spice. I have eaten my honeycomb with my honey. I have drunk my wine with my milk. Eat, O friends, drink, yea, drink abundantly, O beloved. Which brings me to ask, why did the 2 people request that you read Songs of Solomon yesterday? Me no know. Me no know. Excuse me. There's a King of Solomon full of lyrics. Well, apparently, me don't know many people them there who send me if you read it today. But we are read it anyway. When them come back, the train will be gone, left them. He says here, I am come into my garden, my sister, my spouse. I have gathered my myrrh with my spice. I have eaten my honeycomb with my honey. I have drunk my wine with my milk. Eat, O friends, drink, yea, drink abundantly, O beloved. I sleep, but my heart waketh. It is the voice of my beloved that knocks, saying, Open to me, my sister, my love, my dove, my undefiled, for my head is filled with dew, and my locks with the drops of the night. When them come see me early in the morning. Hold on, let me read that again. I am come into my garden, my sister, my spouse. I have gathered my myrrh with my spice. I have eaten my honeycomb with my honey. I have drunk my wine with my milk. Eat, O friends, drink, yea, drink abundantly, O beloved. I sleep, but my heart wakes. It is the voice of my beloved that knocks, saying, Open to me, my sister, my love, my dove, my undefiled, for my head is filled with dew, and my locks with the drops of the night. I have put off my coat. How shall I put it on? I have washed my feet. How shall I defile them? My beloved put in his hand by the hole of the door, and my bowels were moved for him. Open up sesame. Listen, this thing here it's switching codes. It's switching from first person to third person. It's switching from he to she. Hold on there. Because I can't just read this. I can't just read it and I get baffled. Let me read it again. Let me drink like a tea. No, hold on. Let me drink a little tea. I don't know, so I have my tea by my bed. Yeah, God. Hold on there. All right. Let us continue. I'm going to read chapter 5 again. Let's start reading it again. Listen, I didn't want to say it out loud, but that's exactly what I'm thinking. That here is Solomon. He's playing with the women's hearts. Yeah, it's like whichever one shows up and give anybody who show up and give them all of this loving, sweet, nothing words, all of this. He's the man for everybody, for all the women. Him say all the young virgins. So he's like, he's one of those men in the neighborhood that you don't want your children around. Because it's like he is on a mission to defile all the young virgins. And that's what me I get from it. That's what I am getting from what is going on here. Is a Solomon, whoever is talking in romantic codes. I guess. Let us read it again, people. The author says, I'm going to say it in my modern village ram. Let's just read this. The author says, I am coming to my garden, my sister, my spouse. I have gathered my myrrh with my spice. I have eaten my honeycomb with my honey. I have drunk my wine with my milk. Eat, O friends, drink, yea, drink abundantly, O beloved. I sleep, but my heart wakes. It is the voice of my beloved that knocks. Okay, so he's sleeping, but he's thinking about this woman, right? He's thinking about this woman. So it's his beloved that is knocking on his heart. All right. I sleep, but my heart wakes. It is the voice of my beloved that knocks, saying, open to me, my sister, my love, my dove, my undefiled. For my head is filled with dew. Something right here, so. I'm going to listen to this again. If it is Solomon speaking, as you all have said, it is Solomon that wrote the book of Songs of Solomon, right? So if it is Solomon speaking, I'm going to listen keenly and see if this would be one person still speaking. He says, I sleep, but my heart wakes. It is the voice of my beloved that knocks. Okay, all right. Figuratively, you're sleeping. Your heart is awake. You're thinking about your love. All right, the person who you're in love with, right? It is the voice of my beloved that knocketh, saying, open to me, my sister. He says it's the voice of his beloved that's knocking on his heart, saying, open to me, my sister, my love, my dove, my undefiled. For my head is filled with dew, and my locks with the drops of the night. Is a woman, I understand a woman is knocking on his heart, figuratively speaking, but saying, open to me, my sister, my love, my sister, my love, my dove. Questionable. But let us continue. Let us continue. I have put off my coat. Okay, I've taken off my coat. How shall I put it on? I've washed my feet. How shall I defile them? My beloved put in his hand by the hole of the door. And the hole of the door is H-O-L-E. H-O-L-E, a hole in the door. And my bowels were moved for him. No a woman that I speak grammatically, wouldn't that be a woman speaking? That her bowels are moved for him? Unless Solomon gay. Which, that's not what, which I don't get that from what has been said here. I don't get that. Do I have an appointment today? Hold on there. Hold on there. Hold on there. I have an appointment today? I do. The phone just remind me that I have an appointment today. Okay. All right. But let us continue. Let us continue. Yeah. So in verse 4 it says, my beloved put in his hand by the hole of the door, and my bowels were moved for him. So that's not Solomon speaking. That is a female speaking. Solomon would be the beloved, and he puts his hand through that hole in the door, and the woman on the other side get on for him because she say her belly move for him. That means she is starting to have sexual desires for him. I'm not him right. I'm not him right, yes, so. Let us continue. Let us continue. She says her bowels were moved for him. I rose up to open to my beloved, and my hands dropped with myrrh, and my fingers with sweet-smelling myrrh upon the handles of the lock. I opened to my beloved, but my beloved had withdrawn himself. All right? You agree with me yet? So that is a woman writing, and there's a man that's coming into her? Okay. And was gone. She says, he says, I opened to my beloved, but my beloved had withdrawn himself and was gone. My soul failed when he spake. I sought him, but I could not find him. I called him, but he gave me no answer. I don't think they were making love. I think this was probably in her dream. Because remember, over here, the author says, I sleep, but my heart is awake. It is the voice of my beloved that is knocking. So it's her thoughts. It's a woman writing. Yes, she says, I sleep, but my heart is awake. It is the voice of my beloved that is knocking. This is a whole bag of confusion. It says, open to me, my sister, my love, my dove. But I don't know when it switched from the guy speaking to the female speaking. Am I the only one lost? I don't mind being lost because I don't mind being vulnerable to y'all because it is the vulnerability of us as humans as we try to read and understand the Bible. Yeah, and I don't mind being the guinea pig for all of that, for the confusion. Yeah. But the author says here, I sleep, but my heart is awake. It is the voice of my beloved that is knocking, saying, open to me, my sister, my love, my dove, my undefiled, for my head is filled with dew, and my locks with the drops of the night. So that would be which one you want me to read before? You want me to start over chapter 5? Because it certainly doesn't sound like they're making love at all. It sounds like it's an inward thought. You want me to read over chapter 5? Okay, anything for you, my love. It sounds to me, though, like an inward thought, not an actuality. But we're going to read it over again because we are not only, we're reading to get understanding. Yeah, sometimes to get understanding, you got to read and reread again and again and again. So we're going to do it again. Chapter 5, he says, it says in the Bible, it says, I am come into my garden, my sister, my spouse. I have gathered my myrrh with my spice. I have eaten my honeycomb with my honey. I have drunk my wine with my milk. Eat, O friends, drink, yea, drink abundantly, O beloved. I sleep, but my heart is awake. It is the voice of my beloved that knocks, saying, open to me, my sister, my love, my dove, my undefiled, for my head is filled with dew, and my locks with the drops of the night. I have put off my coat. I've taken off my coat. How shall I put it on? I have washed my feet. How shall I defile them? My beloved put in his hand by the hole of the door, and my bowels were moved for him. I arose up to open to my beloved, and my hands dropped with myrrh, and my fingers with sweet-smelling myrrh upon the handles of the lock. I opened to my beloved, but my beloved had withdrawn himself and was gone. My soul failed when he spoke. I sought him. Sorry there, guys. All right, me come back. Let us continue. You said that sound like foreplay? Andrea said it sound like foreplay. It sound like foreplay too, no? It sound like an imaginative experience to me. Yeah, that's what it sound like to me. Yeah, it sounds like, because he says, is this, what is it? Yeah, because if you want to talk about his heart and somebody knock on his heart, that's imaginative. But let us continue reading, because maybe we'll get some context as we read along. Let us continue. He says, I opened to my beloved, but my beloved had withdrawn himself and was gone. My soul failed when he spoke. I sought him, but I could not find him. I called him, but he gave me no answer. The watchmen that went about the city found me. They smote me. They wounded me. The keepers of the walls took away my veil from me. That's a woman speaking. I charge you, O daughters of Jerusalem, if you find my beloved, that ye tell him that I am sick of love. That's a woman speaking. What is thy beloved more than another beloved? O thou fairest among women, what is thy beloved more than another beloved, that thou dost so charge us? My beloved is white and ruddy, the chiefest among 10,000. His head is as the most fine gold, his locks are bushy and black as a raven. His eyes are as the eyes of doves by the rivers of waters, washed with milk and fitly set. His cheeks are as a bed of spices, as sweet flowers, his lips like lilies, dropping sweet-smelling myrrh. His hands are as gold rings set with the beryl. His belly is as bright ivory overlaid with sapphires. His legs are as pillars of marble, set upon sockets of fine gold. His countenance is as Lebanon, excellent as the cedars. His mouth is most sweet. Yea, he is altogether lovely. This is my beloved, and this is my friend, O daughters of Jerusalem. Somebody say, for Google, what's the purpose of the Songs of Solomon? Google it and tell me. I left me a phone downstairs. I'm gonna go down there for it. So I don't know about all of that. Google's gonna give us a modernized version as to why. Donna, what's up? How that jump fit? As to Google is going to give us a modernized version as to what is the purpose of the Songs of Solomon. I don't know, but clearly that wasn't Solomon writing right there. That wasn't Solomon. Yeah. And that was, I believe, imaginative. I don't think it was an actual experience. That's just my view. I don't think it was an actual experience. You can disagree, but that's how I feel. That's what I think it was. All right, you said the Song of Solomon, also known as the song as the Song of Songs, biblical book that celebrates the beauty and joy of love and intimacy, particularly in the context of marriage, and can be interpreted as an allegory of God's love for his people. Well, the Bible, me would have said the Bible if you say it then. That's what I would say. Let me sip like a tea, so, because so it is supposed to metaphorically speak about God's love rather than an experience of Solomon. So what's the point? What's the point? Because if somebody is going to write metaphorically about the love of God, what about the actuality of it? You don't have to speak to me metaphorically. You don't have to speak to me in parables. You know, what you're trying to hide, why you're not coming out and speaking clearly so that everybody can understand. Why does there have to be a hidden meaning, an hidden agenda? Why does there have to be confusion? I mean, I get it. Tell me what's up, sis? I don't get it as to why. What is the objective here? What do they hope to achieve? I don't know. I don't know. I don't get it. Me know, so that's what Google would have say. Of course, yes, that's what Google would have said. But me, I read it straight from the Bible, and that me I work with. Yeah, me I work with it just as it is presented to me in the Bible. Because remember, Tommy, them not give it Google. Them not say go to Google and see where Google say what Google say about religion or Christianity, whatever. They don't say go see what Google say. The textbook is the Bible. Them say go to the Bible, go read the Bible, right? Yeah, so we go to the Bible and we go read the Bible. Yeah. That's where I expect to find my deliverance from my ignorance. It was the order of the time. Somebody said why Jesus is speaking in parables. If you notice that Jesus wasn't the only one who spoke in parables, it was a part of speech that was used a lot back then. So if you want to understand it straight, you will understand it when I speak it in parables. Our time now, 9:20. Oh, my neighbor just come. She said she just drive up. She come on time today. 9:20. She not late. She come on time. Anyway, let us continue. We're going to move on to chapter 6. She said, me I act wise when me speak in parables. Then it just say outside of the Bible, that's how the people spoke. They spoke in parables. So that I guess some people would understand it or some people wouldn't. Because if they spoke in parables to the ordinary person and that person don't understand them, that would make the preachers and teachers sound like them more learned. Because them have to go up there and go explain it to the people. I guess that's what it was supposed to do, right? The parables were supposed to confuse the little man so that the pastors, the preachers, can appear to be smarter than the people. You were the one who asked why I speak in parable. Yes, that's the same thing what I just asked again. Like, why did they have to speak in parables? And I just answered it for myself that I thought they spoke in parables so that them could confuse the little man. So when they explained the parables, what the parables meant, it would appear as though they are more learned than the people they are teaching. Yeah, because what would be the point? What else would be the point? Don't answer me, Tommy. You see what I mean, Tommy? What else would be the point? It's like somebody who goes up to give a speech, and this person used every big word in the book. Every big word they can't find. Instead of them coming and saying, oh, you have some audacity or something like that. They might go, oh, you have some temerity. They might go come use up some word. And the poor little man did it. Like, what them attack say? The poor little man is confused. Like, I went to the meeting, I sat there, but I left the meeting no piece better than I had gone. Because all of these big words that they use in the meeting, I was lost. I didn't know what they were talking about. So then somebody else is going to take that now and they might come break it down to you to make it appear like they are so well learned and you so not. Because what was the point? Just talk to the people just talk to the people in an ordinary language so everybody can understand. If there's no hidden agenda, just speak in normal terms so everybody know what we're talking about and everybody can be on the same page. That's my view. But anyway, we're going to move on to verse 6, chapter 6. The Udomakete. And exactly, like, they got to come with all these big words and confuse the ordinary man. Like, seriously? Shoo. Let us move on to chapter 6, beautiful people. Chapter 6 says, "Whither is thy beloved gone? Where is thy beloved gone, O thou fairest among women? Where is thy beloved turned aside, that he may seek him with thee? My beloved is gone down into his garden, to the beds of spices, to feed in the gardens, and to gather lilies. I am my beloved's, and my beloved is mine. He feeds among the lilies. Thou art beautiful, O my love, as Tirzah, comely as Jerusalem, terrible as an army with banners. Turn away thine eyes from me, for they have overcome me. Thy hair is as a flock of goats that appear from Gilead. Thy teeth are as a flock of sheep which go up from the washing, whereof every one bears twins, and there is not one barren among them. As a piece of a pomegranate are thy temples within thy locks. There are 60 queens and 80 concubines and virgins without number." All right. My dove, my undefiled, is but one. She is the only one of her mother. She is the choice one of her that bare her. The daughters saw her and blessed her, yea, the queens and the concubines, and they praised her. Who is she that looks forth as the morning, fair as the moon, clear as the sun, and terrible as an army with banners? I went down into the garden of nuts to see the fruits of the valley, and to see whether the vine flourishes, and the pomegranates budded. Or even I was aware, my soul made me like the chariots of Aminadab. Return, return, O Shulamite, return, return, that we may look upon thee. What will ye see in the Shulamite? As it were the company of two armies. So in the Bible it says this is the church professing her love in Christ. Sound so? Yeah, it says, you know, at the top of the Bible, they tell you what that page is going to be about? It says, the church professes her love in Christ. Genevieve, what's up? No wonder people them nobody read the Bible. No wonder the people them nobody read it. He look like me want my pranga not forget budded today. People, when I get to the pomegranate budded today, like seriously, when I go get to the nuts cracked today. Oh my word! I went down into the garden of nuts to see the fruits of the valley. And to see whether the vine flourishes and the pomegranates budded. Can't leave me alone. Can't leave me alone. Let me sip my little tea here, so. Let us continue. I have not a word for say. I don't have a word to say more about this. Because I'm not going to confuse you and confuse myself. We're going to just continue reading. Chapter 7. Chapter 7. How beautiful are thy feet with shoes, O prince's daughter. The joints of thy thighs are like jewels. Somebody said it's something to do with Christ, but if it is that the church professes its love for Christ, why all the sexual innuendos? Why? I don't know, but let us continue. How beautiful are thy feet with shoes, O prince's daughter. The joints of thy thighs are like jewels, the work of the hands of a cunning workman. Thy navel is like a round goblet, which wanteth not liquor. Thy belly is like a heap of wheat set about with lilies. Thy two breasts are like two young roes that are twins. Thy neck is as a tower of ivory. Thine eyes like the fish pools of Eshbon, by the gate of Bath-rabbim. Thy nose is as the tower of Lebanon, which looks towards Damascus. Thine head upon thee is like Carmel, and the hair of thine head like purple. The king is held in the galleries. How fair and how pleasant art thou, O love for delights! This, thy stature, is like to a palm tree, and thy breast to clusters of grapes. I said, I will go up to the palm tree. I will take hold of the boughs thereof. Now also thy breasts shall be as clusters of the vine, and the smell of thy nose like apples. And the roof of thy mouth like the best wine for my beloved, that goes down sweetly, causing the lips of those that are asleep to speak. I am my beloved's, and his desire is toward me. Come, my beloved, let us go forth into the field. Let us lodge in the villages. Let us get up early to the vineyards. Let us see if the vine flourishes, whether the tender grapes appear, and the pomegranates bud forth. There will I give thee my loves. The mandrakes give a smell, and at our gates are all manner of pleasant fruits, new and old, which I have laid up for thee, O my beloved. At the end of chapter 7, that, you know. Wanna get something inspiring out of that? Who get something inspiring? Share it with me. I see him thing, Mr. Card. Amor, what's up? Good morning, my love. You come to check if my pomegranate is budding? Good morning, my love. How are you doing? Good to see you. God, I'm just as stumped as y'all are, guys, with what we have read here. I don't know. I don't want to say too much because I don't want to confuse myself. I certainly don't want to confuse you. Where you say, Amor? What's up? How you doing? You work last night? Good to see you, my love. If you read one more verse. We have one more chapter. We have one more chapter, the last chapter of the book of Songs of Solomon. We have one last chapter to read on it. I'm going to mark off that whole book as not really having much inspiration. I don't myself. Because it is loaded with confusion, you know. A female speaking, a male speaking, all of this figurative speech, all of this, yeah. No work last night. My weekend off. Just about to read my Bible myself. Oh, okay. Wonderful. Wonderful. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't work last night either. I wasn't feeling good at all. But let's move right along, beautiful people. We are on to Solomon chapter 8. This is the last chapter of the book of Solomon. And here it says, "Oh, that thou wert as my brother, that sucked the breast of my mother, when I should find thee outside, I would kiss thee." Where's the Lent season? What did I give up? Why I ain't giving it up anything in a long time. So I ain't got nothing to give up. Anyway, that wasn't what we were talking about now. You say you're gonna read your Bible. Don't let me defile you. Let's move. Let's move right along. Cause let's move right along, beautiful people. Y'all didn't hear that, okay? Y'all didn't hear a thing. Y'all did not hear a thing. All right. We are reading Songs of Solomon, chapter 8. "Oh, that thou wert as my brother, that sucked the breast of my mother, when I should find thee outside, I would kiss thee. Yea, I should not be despised. I would lead thee and bring thee into my mother's house. Who would instruct me? I would cause thee to drink of spiced wine, of the juice of my pomegranate." You want to taste the juice of my pomegranate? Oi! Let us continue. "His left hand should be under my head, and his right hand should embrace me. I charge you, O daughters of Jerusalem, that he stir not up, nor awake my love, until he please. Who is this that comes up from the wilderness, leaning upon her beloved? I raise thee up under the apple tree, there thy mother brought thee forth." God, y'all gonna allow me now. My Lent is long suffering at this point, God. Shoo. He says here, "Who is this that cometh up from the wilderness, leaning upon her beloved? I raise thee up under the apple tree, there thy mother brought thee forth. There she brought thee forth that bare thee. Set me as a seal upon thine heart, as a seal upon thine arm, for love is strong as death, jealousy is cruel as the grave. The coals thereof are coals of fire, which hath a most vehement flame. Many waters cannot quench love, neither can the floods drown it. If a man would give all the substance of his house for love, it would utterly be contemned. What a word they called? Hold on, let me look up that word there. I don't remember seeing that word. I marked it, so I must have looked it up when we read it first. But me not remember it. Me not remember. So therefore, me I go look it up again. CONTEMNED. It said, treat or regard with contempt. Okay, so it come from contempt. You give up rice, you give up liquor, you give up TV, and give up the slacks. Really? For 40 days and 40 nights? Master, next thing, Satan will come tempt you. And tell you if you jump down off of the rooftop. If he going to tell you jump off of the rooftop and nothing going to happen to you. Because that's a whole lot of giving up there, my friend. But anyway, make we continue reading. You people give me the desire to come back here to read this thing here. But let us continue. If you just come, we are reading Solomon chapter 8. He says, "Who is this that comes up from the wilderness, leaning upon his beloved? I raised thee up under the apple tree. There thy mother brought thee forth. There she brought thee forth that bare thee. Set me as a seal upon thine heart, as a seal upon thine arm. For love is strong as death, jealousy is cruel as the grave. The coals thereof are coals of fire, which hath a most vehement flame. Many waters cannot quench love, neither can the floods drown it. If a man would give all the substance of his house for love, it would utterly be contempt. We have a little sister, and she hath no breasts. What shall we do for our sister in the day when she shall be spoken for? If she be a wall, we will build upon her a palace of silver. And if she be a door, we will enclose her with boards of cedar. I am a wall, and my breasts like towers. Then was I in his eyes as one that found favor." Solomon had a vineyard at Baalamon. He let out the vineyard unto keepers. Every one of the fruit thereof was to bring 1,000 pieces of silver. My vineyard, which is mine, is before me. Thou, O Solomon, must have 1,000, and those that keep the fruit thereof 200. Thou that dwellest in the gardens, the companions hearken to their voice. Cause me to hear it. Make haste, my beloved, and be thou like the roe, or to the young hart upon the mountains of spices. You already got tempted. Have yourself a great day and have a blessed day, my love, and a great week. I'll see you again some other time. Have a good one, my love. Okay. So have you all heard now where the author is saying, "My vineyard which is mine is before me. Thou, O Solomon, must have 1,000." The person is speaking of Solomon. It's not Solomon speaking. The person is saying here that their vineyard which is mine is before me. And he's saying Solomon must have 1,000. And those that keep the fruits, his fruits must have maybe like 200. Thou hast dwelt in the garden, the companions hearken to thy voice. Cause me to hear it. Make haste, my beloved, and be thou like to a roe, or to a young hart upon the mountains of spices. That I don't know, church. That I don't know. Somebody said earlier that was it was the comparing the church to the wife to God, like the God as the bridegroom for the church. You see our Google say, well, Google no right. Yeah, Google is not making it any more comprehensible for me. Yeah. Me I go read this again. Not today for uno. Not today for uno. Cause my phone just alarm and tell me say me have an 11 o'clock appointment. Yeah. But me I go sit down and read this again. And for those of you who are here, those of you who are on YouTube, as me come off of the phone here, so I'm going to read it straight through. I'm going to read it straight through, all of the Solomon, without any interruptions or any interjections. I'm just going to read it just as it is here, and see if I can post it on my YouTube channel, you know. And you all can put it on replay and listen to it over and over and over and over and over, and see if it makes what sense it makes, you know, what is being said here. Because me just as confused. Me just as confused before me started reading as I am now that I finished reading it. But we're gonna continue tomorrow. Uno say tomorrow we start Jeremiah. Me love Jeremiah, you know. Yeah. We are gonna read the book of Jeremiah. We're gonna start the book of Jeremiah tomorrow. But this Song of Solomon is very disappointing. Yeah, me not even did realize when we did read it before, say I saw it did shortcut. Yeah, it hasn't left me, with any more knowledge than I had prior to reading it. That's just how I feel, because there wasn't anything inspiring. There wasn't any lessons to be learned. I don't know. I didn't get it. At least with Job, I could say, well, you know, perseverance. There was something to be had, even from that incomplete story. But from Solomon, not so much. That's how I feel. That's my opinion, based on what we just read. But we are going to come back again tomorrow. Come read some more of this Bible here. Now, here more and more states are making it mandatory for Bibles to be in classrooms and for our children to be taught from the Bible. So I think that with that, it's even more pertinent for us as parents to know, what am I going to teach with children in a school, in the Bible? What are they going to be teaching them? What's in the Bible? What are they going to teach? What are they going to teach the children? Because I'm sure these children are going to have a lot of questions. Because a lot of these children, they only hear their parents say, "Oh yeah, we believe in God and this and that," but a lot of these children don't have like regular Bible worship in their house, where their parents are reading the Bible, trying to understand it. Yeah, not many children have that experience. You see what I mean, Tommy? Yeah, not many children have that experience. So now, I know some people see it as a bad thing, which it is constitutionally, but some people also see it as a good thing. I see it as both, because you see, these children are smart. These children are going to start asking questions. And not only are they going to be asking questions of whoever it is who is going to be teaching them from the Bible, they're going to start asking their parents and their family members. And yeah, and it's going to force a lot of people to seek answers. And that is going to lead a lot of people to realize that, damn, we really don't have the answer, do we? Yeah, so I see it as a good thing and a bad thing. So whatever it brings for you, we're going to roll with the tides and see what comes of it. Because it's not like I am so wholly against people worshiping, or I'm not wholly against that kind of thing. It's just that with religion has brought, for me in particular, religion has brought so much conflict. I don't see religion as a peaceful occurrence amongst men. They say, oh, the Bible and the Lord say, you must live good, you must love each other, you all must look out for each other. But the people who espouse religion do everything but. Because for so many people to be religious and claiming that they are following what God said to love and all of this, we have so much hate that I keep asking myself, what exactly are these people following? And the same person who could just unalive 5 people is going to start quoting scriptures and say, oh, I know my God is leading me. And have you ever heard those murderers, how they are the first to start quoting the Bible? So it makes you wonder, like, Mama Sanpring, good morning, how you doing? And another thing that makes religion so questionable for me is the fact that there are so many denominations. You can't get to act together. You all cannot get your act together. There are so many denominations under the umbrella of Christianity. And I'm saying, if you all have the same God, and you all have the same devil, and you all have the same textbook, why are you all not on the same accord? And everybody is running away to form their own church because they think they have the answers that nobody else does. And I am just like, what in the world, with 50 different denominations under the one umbrella of Christianity? Now y'all tell me, which one should I consider to be the truth? Which one should I consider to be the truth when you all can't decide which one of y'all is the truth? I don't know, using the same textbook. Why the one textbook give you all so much confusion, so much so that everybody is trying to be right, and by everyone trying to be right, everybody is going and forming their own denomination, Church of God of Life, Church of God of Prophecy, Church of God of the Emmanuel on the Mount, Church of God of this, Adventist, Baptist, Methodist, Seventh-day Baptist, Seventh-day this. You all are a bunch of confusion. A bunch of confusion. That's what it is. And then you all say, why people are moving away from the church? Of course, yes. Like, excuse me, like, which church are they supposed to move towards? Because there's no consistency in Christianity. There's no consistency in religion on a whole. Why? Because it is just a concept of the mind. From the beginning of time, I tell you, people have been wondering how we got here. What's going to happen to us after we leave here? You remember yesterday, even Job? Job is like, imagine I'm serving you, but you haven't even told me. You haven't even made me aware of what happens to me after this. I don't even know. I'm just following, but I don't know what happens to me after this. I don't have a clue. And Job was right. You don't have a clue. We don't have a clue. Job says nobody comes back from the dead. He was right, of course, yes. Nobody comes back from the dead. Nobody comes back to say, this is what happened. This is what happened to me when I die. So Job was himself. That's why Job said, I'm utterly confused. We all are. Because some of us move towards accepting these set of arguments that has no veracity to them. They are not irrefutable. There's no way for you to prove to anybody that what you believe is true. It is just what you believe, and beliefs are not facts. They are not facts. So when you're going to come out and say, oh, the Bible say that if somebody is gay, they are condemned. Go to hell and leave the people them alone. That's what I say. Like, leave the people alone. Because number one, If something like homosexuality, I don't know why that one came to me just now, but something like homosexuality, if it was not that from the time of the Bible, which is thousands and thousands of years ago, if it was not that there was homosexuality, it would not have been mentioned in the Bible. If it was not that it was present, that it was happening, that men were loving men, it would not be mentioned. You notice in the Bible, no mention internet, you don't mention computers. Yeah, you don't mention those things. Why? Because those things did not exist then. So the Bible don't have them things they mentioned. Anything the Bible have mentioned is what was happening then. The Bible don't mention things like TV and them something there. Because them something never exists. So those were things of the times. Those were things that happened. And there were people who were like, oh, this can't be right. This can't be right. Like Moses. Some people want to take some of the things that Moses say. They want to take it as truth. And then other things they want to discard. And I say, you can't work like that. You can't work like that. That's how this thing go. You have to either accept it all or reject it all. It can't be some. When you want to, when you want to, when you want to exercise your hatred, you come out and you want to talk against the people them who live them life how them choose, how they see fit. After them life, it's not your life. It's not your life. You don't have a right to say to somebody, you don't have a right to do that because the Bible say. Because also the same Bible says, thou shalt not kill. And this in the same Bible, in the same breath, people were being slain left and right. And all of these people that were being slain, it say, Moses said, God tell him to do it. So I don't understand. Oh, God talk out of two sides of my mouth. Don't kill. But go and go kill them 27,000 people there. Don't kill. But kill anybody who even come up on the mountain to see who is up in there. And I said, that's why I'm telling you, say, in my heart, Moses knew exactly who was on top of that mountain. It wasn't no God on that mountain. It wasn't an invisible being that came down from heaven. Why God would have to come down from heaven to come sit down on a mountain to talk to Moses? It no mention iCloud or Apple tablet. Don't make me laugh because me I go cough. Listen, why would this God have to come down from this heaven, come sit down and hide up on one mountain to tell Moses, to write on one plaque, give to Moses what to do and what. Why would he have to come down to do that? He could have write it up there and send it down. He wouldn't broke. Right? Because he's almighty and powerful. It wouldn't broke. Moses come down and broke it. And if God so badly wanted the people to see him, wanted the people to feel his presence, wanted so much for the people to serve him, why would he up on the mountain and hide? Why would he be hiding up there? I mean, we're not going to say, oh, the brightness of his presence will strike you dead. You can't look at his face because the brightness of his presence. Like, seriously, people. Of course, I agree with you, my love. She said we are equipped with a brain. We must use it intelligently. I agree. And not only that, a cloud and apple. But the thing is, not only that, sis. Not only that. But he comes and he sits on top of this mountain and he calls Moses to come to this mountain So he can tell Moses what the people should and shouldn't do. But in the same breath, he says, if the people sneak up on the mountain to come peep to see who it is, him can't make himself invisible. God can't make himself invisible. He's invisible, right? So if the people even come up on the mountain to peep to see who it is, they wouldn't see anything, right? Right? Because them say God is an invisible being, right? So why would he tell Moses that if the people climb up on the mountain and try to come peep to see who is on top of the mountain, he should analyze them? Does that make sense? That doesn't make no sense. Because if I am God and I am on this mountain and I am giving Moses instructions as to what to tell the people to do and not to do, I am God. I am capable of making myself invisible. I am invisible, right? I'm just bringing logic to the argument here, right? I'm invisible and I'm up on this mountain and I only want to talk with Moses. And I'm giving Moses these instructions. I'm writing on this tablet the do's and the don'ts, these 10 commandments. In there, he says, thou shalt not kill. And in the same breath, I say to Moses, listen, me know to them people are going to come peep to see who it is on top of this mountain. You just tell them, me say, nobody, neither them nor the animals, don't come near the mountain. Don't try to come peep to see who it is that is on top of the mountain, because if they do, they must be put to death. Why would this God be so obsessed with death? With the curiosity of people being curious to find out whether or not what's going on is worth following or not. Miss, and that them say all the time, me love. Me tired of them. They say me I challenge God, me I challenge the Bible. I'm just asking the relevant questions. Then cuss me out all the time, but me no care. Me no business. Because if you give me the book and you say me if you read it, I'm going to follow it, I need to know what is in it. Fair enough, guys? Yeah. Them give the book to me. Them say me if you read the book. Them say me if you read it, I'm going to follow it. So my prerogative is to know what is in it and to analyze what is in it, what is being presented to me. Somebody says maybe it is for privacy's sake. But my thing is, what privacy? What privacy if God is invisible? What privacy? If God is invisible, the people them could have look subtle, right, Jungle? Them could have look subtle. They would not be able to see him on the mountain, right? Because he can't make himself invisible to them. It wouldn't be that he would have to them just because out of curiosity they're coming to see who is on top of the mountain. I think the person on top of the mountain was Moses' father-in-law or somebody else. But it wasn't anybody who was capable of making themselves invisible. I'm just bringing logic to the table. Yeah, I'm just bringing logic to the table. Because God could have sit down there and be invisible all he wants. He could have sit down there invisible and the people, them could have come and peep. Look for see who. Peep for see who. And them still can't see him. Right? And they still wouldn't be able to see him. But did they have to die just because they were curious? Did the poor innocent animals have to die? Because the animals certainly weren't coming to see who was on the mountain. The animals would be just grazing. But why did the animals have to die just for touching Mount Sinai? And you see when we say the Bible presents itself with so much death and destruction and fear, and it's like you are talking about apocalypse coming. Reading the Bible is the apocalypse. It's filled with so much death and so much destruction and so much hate. So much hatred for people who don't act like you, people who don't think like you, people who don't choose to live their life like you. It is filled with so much hatred. And then they say, oh, the Bible, it's love. Love and hatred intertwined together. I'm just saying, based on what I have read, I'm left with a lot of questions. Exactly. When you read it and you understand, you can't just take anything that somebody throws at you. That's true. Yeah. When you don't understand, this is like people like falling in love with the poorly educated, with the people who want to just go to church and hear somebody up there giving a fiery speech, and they come out and in their minds they believe they have done the right thing, but they haven't read anything for themselves. They don't know. They just say like, I'm just gonna go along to get along. Yeah, they just accept it. But I cannot in good conscience just accept what is being thrown at me. I can't. I have to read it for myself and try to put a human understanding to it. Like, how am I supposed to process this? How am I supposed to use this information for my betterment and the betterment of those around me? How? And it's challenging. Absolutely challenging. Because we are set in our ways. We are set in our ways. And we are afraid of going up against the status quo. Almost all of us have been raised with the Bible, with going to church, with religion. And it is hard for us to step aside and question it, because our own family members, everybody gonna say we are sellout and say, oh, me I go pray for you. God I go show you a lesson. God going to show you a lesson. And I hope it is not too late. They just come up with all this crap. They just say all this foolishness, as though you must believe and you must follow out of fear. Well, I don't do that. We can't believe and follow out of fear. I must believe and follow out of knowledge and a comprehensive understanding of what it is I am following and what it is I am doing. I cannot just follow you because I am afraid that if I don't, you're going to be mad, or some deity somewhere is going to be mad, and I am going to suffer some dire consequences. Me not like that, and I don't like to be threatened. I don't like that. Because if you tell me don't do it because if I do it, you're going to do X, Y, Z, I'm either going to totally ignore you, I'm going to do it and see. But I don't want to have to live my life where, if Mama's on print, if I see you in need and I am able to help you, the first thing I'm thinking about is heaven or hell. I don't want to live my life like that. I want to help you because I am human. I know what it is like for humans to suffer, and I do not like to see other human beings suffer. So if I can help you, I help you with no expectation of any reward, just me helping you. Why do I have to think about heaven and hell for me to think of that? Means I'm not genuinely a good person. If I have to do it and say, oh yes, God told me to do it because if I do it, I have a chance of going to heaven. If me not do it, we have a chance of going to hell. That's you right there being strangled with fear. I refuse to let fear strangle me. Lati, what's up, sis? Jamfet, what's up? I refuse to let fear strangle me. It's not going to hold me. No, not going to happen. Not going to happen. Mm-mm. So if I'm doing good, I'm not going to be thinking about no heaven, no hell, no Bible, no nothing. If me don't want to do it, me just don't want to do it. I'm not doing it. But if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it out of the goodness of my heart with absolutely no expectations of a reward. Okay, yeah, challenging the norm will irritate many as so-called righteous gatekeepers. Oh yes, I'm fully aware. I'm fully aware because here I come challenging what they hold dear. But for me, it's not so much the challenge. It's not so much me, say, challenging them. I am just bringing them to awareness of the contents of the Bible. Because them not read it. Them not read it, you know. Them not read it at all. They just assume that they're doing the right thing because that they were raised on that fare. So we hear people, that's why I said earlier that you will hear sometimes the most vile people quoting scriptures and talking about a God may I say. You didn't say God when you analyze them people there. A God may I say. You understand? A one man who can rule my destiny and a God. And you just analyze 5 people. And now you quote scripture. And the same people that will turn on and say, you're that same person talking about, oh yes, a God deliver me, all of this. And they will say, oh yes, he must have been delivered. Yes. So now we're going to embrace him and accept him and put our guards down because yes, God delivered. How are you going to know that God delivered this murderer from murdering people? If you all remember, I don't know if you all remember this story. I forget the girl's name, but I'm going to tell you all the story. So there was this man who had unalived his wife, unalived his children. He had unalived a whole bunch of people. He went to prison for like, I don't remember how many years he got, but he got several years in prison. And he came out, he was released from prison. And he started going to this church, and you know, he was always praising God and carrying on. He was a bishop, became a bishop in the church, and all of this. And the pastor of the church encouraged his daughter to marry this man, knowing fully darn well this man had unalived his family and spent time in prison for it. Because this pastor say, oh, he's redeemed, God has delivered him, God has changed him. How do you know? If you have the tendency to murder, I don't see how that just suddenly disappear from you. I don't care how much God you're saying, how much Bible you're reading. I would not trust you with my chickens. I wouldn't trust you. But the father, who was the owner of the church, was the pastor of the church, he said, oh, he believed wholeheartedly that God has delivered this man from the devil. By the way, God had never delivered any of us from the devil. If God was ever going to deliver any of us from the devil, he would eradicate the devil. So we are never safe from the devil. So don't get it twisted. But back to the story. This man encouraged his daughter to marry this man, claiming that God spoke to him, the father, and God had delivered this man from his evil ways. And this poor daughter went ahead and married this man. What do you think this man did? I leave you all to think about it. What do you think this man did? A leopard never changes its spot. Okay. Because this man turned around and unalived the whole family. I think the wife escaped with her life. But the man turned around and slew his whole family again. So it don't sit well with me when I hear people seeing these demons and talking about, oh yeah, God deliver him from the devil. God bind it up and throw it away. Oh, Lord. If God bind them up, bind up the devil from them, they shouldn't be sinning again, right? And my whole argument is if God is going to bind anything up and help us to be sinless, He should have bind up this devil, this negative energy that causes us to quote unquote sin, bind him up and dash him away so we won't have to sin. But him not bind up the devil, him not dash away the devil. He has left the devil to be our temptation to sin, and then we have to come to him every single day to beg him for forgiveness when he has the power to get rid of the influence that is causing us to sin in the first place. But he doesn't get rid of that influence. He keeps that influence to continue to torment us so that we can go every day to him to boost his ego, to make it for us to believe that he is going to do something for us. But life remains the same. But that's a talking truth. My truth, I want me think is true. Yeah. That's just how I feel about the whole thing, my sister. And this thing is just making people live in misery. Because just like how Job was in the misery, living in the unknown. We don't know. Like, I wonder if I saw it go. I wonder if I saw it go. The confusion. It just makes for a miserable existence. Yeah. It makes for a miserable existence. Like if you truly and really and you say, okay, I really and truly want to live by the Bible and do what the Bible says. And then you start reading the Bible and you're like, wait a minute. Wait a minute now. Wait a whole damn minute now. No, sir. No, I really don't want to live like this. I really don't live by what the Bible is showing here. Because these stories that these people are telling, these things aren't happening now. That's one other thing that I always contend. Like, why aren't these things like the things in the Bible, like they say, like the miracles and stuff like that? Why aren't they happening now? Preachers are up there preaching every day. People come up with cane. They tell them, throw away your cane and come. The Lord has spoken to me. Let me anoint you. You're going to walk again. People them dash on them cane. Them come out from underneath the tent tomorrow. Then can't walk. Come up in your wheelchair. Take away the wheelchair and go walk. And them take away the wheelchair. Come back tomorrow. People them still can't walk. But yet still, these pastors have all this power that's invested in them to heal the sick. And yet still, hospitals full till them are run over. Itasha, hospital, good morning, my love, how you doing? Hospitals full. I flew over with sick people. And them can't heal them. Doctors and scientists and researchers are there every day working their butt off to find medicine, cures, and treatment for all kinds of diseases. But you say you are pastor and you can heal the sick, but you can never walk into a hospital and heal somebody. You never find that questionable. You never find it questionable. I find it to be absolutely questionable. Because if God has invested in you the power to heal the sick, you should be walking around the face of this hurt, riding donkey, riding mule, whatever, just to get to sick people so you could heal them. But I don't see that happening. That tells me that if you cannot heal all the sick, you cannot heal any sick. You can't heal nobody if you can't heal yourself. Because you could be walking around telling people you can heal them. They should jump up out a wheelchair. They should throw away their walking stick. They should throw away their glasses because they can see now. And you see them one end up with prostate cancer. And you can't heal yourself. You end up with stomach ulcer. You end up with a heart attack and you can't heal yourself. And then they say, oh, let the Lord's will be done. God do it to me, so it is okay. Like, I'm not stopping at this fantasy world. Don't stop with this foolishness. Come on now. Come on now. Live and let live. Love each other. Don't do to anybody what you wouldn't like them to do to you. All right? Seek peace. Yeah. Seek peace. Anything you know would hurt somebody, don't do it to them. Not because you are planned to go to some heaven, but because you are a good and decent human being. You don't need the Bible to be a good person. You need a good heart to be a good person. You need to be a reasonable human being to be considered a good person. But you don't need the Bible to tell you that. Because if you're going to follow the things that are in the Bible, I'm going to tell you, you are dangerous. You are full of hate. You are full of hate. You are cruel. You are unkind, just like how the Bible. You know, see like how the Bible said the people them who not believe. You see like how the Bible disparage them. I see them even now Christians disparage you if you don't believe. I have had my fair shares of cussing, and trust me, it no fears me one bit. It no fears me one bit. When we get my good fear of cussing, hey G, what's up? All because I dare to ask questions and to read it myself and ask the relevant questions. The younger generation are more aware of the reality of these fake behaviors. My mother's generation was more gullible based on how they were socialized. Exactly. But now I work today, AG. But if I work last night, but I didn't feel well. Yes, the older people, they were more gullible. And you wonder why they never wanted people to learn to read. Because certainly, if you give me a book and you yourself have read this book and you have seen all the inconsistencies in this book, you know that if you teach me to read and I start reading it, I'm gonna have questions about what's in it, right? And you don't want me to have any questions because that's gonna breed doubt in my mind, and I'm not gonna be as loyal as you want me to be. Now that we have escaped the terrors of illiteracy, we are reading and we are comprehending what's been presented to us. We are asking questions. Notice there have been a lot of people deconstructing. There have been a lot of people deconstructing. When we first started talking about this 2020, there weren't so many people, you know. There weren't so many people talking about it. People are coming out now openly talking about it. Yeah, the apartment just right out the road, that's all. Not even a mile. Just like right at the entrance, so that's all. You know, take me 5 minutes to reach out there. Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna continue to ask the difficult questions. We're gonna continue to read. We are going to come back. We're going to come back tomorrow. Yes, tomorrow we're going to be reading. We're going to start reading Jeremiah again. Jeremiah is another one where people always say, oh, the Lord said to Jeremiah, I know you from in your mother's womb, da, 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 da. And they never paid attention to the crook that Jeremiah was. But we're going to continue. Tomorrow morning, we will start the reading again of the book of Jeremiah. All right, people? Well, that's going to be it from me for right now. Thanks, Andrea, for reminding me about my appointment. That's going to be it from me for right now. Until next time, my friends, this is Trev from Trevessence, where your journey matters. I will see you all again later sometime. All right? Have yourselves a great day, everybody. Talk to you all later. Right, Tasha? I'll see you later, my love. If you can't be manipulated, then you will be an outcast. Exactly. And that's what they say, brother. They say, God don't show me sign Me I wait for that they sign. They say God don't show me one sign, brother.